Towson, Maryland. It is a very popular suburb here in Baltimore, Maryland. And today we're diving in and we're going to look at the cost of living in Towson, Maryland. So if you're looking to make a move to Towson, you're going to want to watch this video. So stick around. We're getting after it right now. What is going on, everyone? It's Adam Taylor back again with another video all about living here in Maryland. Today we're focusing on Towson, Maryland, one of Baltimore's biggest suburbs. And Angela Shirley West 776 actually dropped a comment and said, hey, can you make a video all about the cost of living in Baltimore? Well, Angela, guess what? This video is for you, my friend. Now, if you are new to this channel and you just landed here by clicking on a video about Towson, great news. If you're looking to learn more about life in Maryland, we do videos each and every week talking about living here, working here, chilling here, most importantly, going out and having some fun in the great state of Maryland. So if you want to learn more, please hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to give the little bell a click. That way you're alerted every time we put out another video. Now, as I mentioned all the time, we have folks from all over the world reaching out to us each and every day looking to make a move here, and we really love it. So if you're thinking about making a move, we'd love to connect with you, but we just need one thing from you, and that's for you to reach out to us. So please give us a call, shoot us a text message, send us an email, or best of all, schedule your Zoom appointment using the link down below in the description. And that way you and I or somebody on my team can jump on a call, see what we can do to help you out in your transition here to Maryland and make this a smooth move for you. So let's get into the video because that's what you're here for. You want to know these costs and you're going to want to stick around to the end because I'm going through all of it. Housing, transportation costs, utility costs, and more. So stick around, my friends. We're going to knock this out right now. All right, the first thing we got to do, we got to talk about Towson and give you a little bit of an overview of it. Now, Towson is located just north of Baltimore. It's about a 20 to 25 minute drive. You'll head up Interstate 83 from the city of Baltimore, jump on 695 East, and take one of the three exits off of 695 that feeds directly into Towson. Now, people go to Towson for a lot of things. Number one, it is the county seat of Baltimore County. So if you're doing business or you need to go to the courthouses or get permits, all the traffic for that funnels into Towson. Now, there are big buildings there. There are like mini skyscrapers, probably 10 to 12 floors. There's a massive mall, the Towson Town Center Mall, that attracts a lot of people too. And if you need like anything shopping wise, I'm telling you, you are going to be able to find it in Towson. Some other things that bring people to Towson are, there's a lot of private schools in Towson. So a lot of people choose to send their kids to private school here locally, and a good chunk of them are located in Towson. There's also a ton of hospitals, GBMC, you've got St. Joseph's that's now being run by the University of Maryland, Shepherd Pratt is also there, and so much more. And what attracts people to Towson is having access and being quickly able to access everything that I just told you here and have it in a good suburban setting that is close to Baltimore. And that's why Towson, my friends, is so attractive. So the first thing we're going to start out with here is our housing costs. So let's jump into that right now. So your housing options. Here's the one thing I got to tell you right now, my friends, living in Towson is not cheap, and your housing cost in reality is going to be the biggest cost that you're going to have to contend with. So if you're just looking to rent a home, and I went up onto the MLS, which I have up here on the other screen, pulled up all the rentals for the last 6 months, and the average home that is rented goes for about $2,650. Now, that's probably going to shock you and open your eyes like, what the heck? And the reason being, there's a couple reasons. Number one, the MLS typically focuses on homes that are being rented, okay? Meaning like if I wanted to go out, rent out my home, contact a real estate agent and put it on the MLS. In reality, there's not a lot of apartments that appear on the MLS. So those of you that have a budget that is significantly less than that, again, don't be discouraged because there are apartment complexes out there that have more affordable rents that are available in Towson. But if you're looking to rent a home, that's what you could typically expect. For that price, you're probably getting 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in a townhome. Now, if you're looking to purchase, guess what? There's not much available. Big surprise right now here in 2023. Right now, we've got 30 homes. I'm looking here on the other screen, starting at a low of $149,900, going up to a whopping $4,299,000. And everything in between, all price points, it's all there. But you've only got 30 active homes right now to choose from. And here's what's sort of happened and transpired over the last 6 months. In the last 6 months, 220 homes have sold in Towson. The median sales price, so if we took when we're looking at the median, we're looking directly in the middle. So approximately home sale number 110, the sale price on that is $431,000. But the average sales price, so if we were to take all the sales and divide it by 220, the average sales price is going to be $513,547. And oh, by the way, I haven't told you about the speed of this market, okay? You can see inventory is limited. There's only 30 homes available. The average days on the market for these homes, yeah, it's a whopping 6 days, my friends. So if you're looking to purchase in Towson, number one, you got to have your cash and your funds ready to roll. And two, you have to act quickly or that home, my friends, is going to be gone. So there you go. Those are your housing figures for living in Towson. The second item we have to look at is your transportation costs, because guess what? We all got to get around. We got to get to work. We got to get to school. We got to get things done. And gas right now, as of the recording of this video, is running anywhere from $3.60 to $3.70 a gallon, roughly. We're typically about 5 to 10 cents cheaper than the national average, which is a good thing here in Central Maryland. Now, where to fill up? Let me give you a little insider tip. It's probably the same where you are. The further you get away from the metropolitan areas like the city of Baltimore or right in downtown Towson, the cheaper the gas prices will be. So if you're sort of outside the Beltway, try and fill up your gas tank there. It's going to save you a little bit of money. Now, maybe you don't have a car and you're solely relying on public transportation. This is a good thing about Towson. You have commuter bus lines or just regular bus lines that can get you where you need to go. Now, if you're just hopping on the MTA transit bus line, and you need a daily pass, it's going to run you about $4.60. If you need a monthly pass, it's going to run you about $77. Now, those of you that are students at Towson University, there's a cool thing you got going on there, is you can jump on Tiger Ride. It's the bus service, or shuttle service as they call it, around Towson University, and you can get from one side of campus to the other, get your Starbucks in, do whatever you need to do. The shuttle is actually really cool, and what I love about it is now they're starting to sort of venture off campus and drop you at spots in and around Towson. So that really helps you out and gives you a little bit more freedom. The last thing with transportation, we got to look at storing your vehicle, okay? Towson has grown exponentially over the years. You're seeing a lot of high-rise condos go up, but what remains the same is the footprint of Towson. And everything's being built vertically, but you still have to park your vehicle. And a lot of these places are charging parking fees, and they can run you an additional $150 a month. Most of the time they're included in your condo dues for the building, but going back to the original thing when I talked about housing costs, make sure you check out what the HOA dues or condo dues that you may have to pay for any of these particular buildings, because I'm telling you, it's pretty pricey, again, to live in Towson, my friends. Third item we got to look at are your utility costs. What's it cost to keep the lights on? So, Baltimore Gas and Electric, otherwise known as BG&E, is our utility provider here in Central Maryland. And if you have a specific home that you're under contract for, or you're looking at this particular apartment complex, I want to encourage you, give BG&E a call and say, hey, what's the utility bill at 1234 York Road in Towson, going for right now? And they'll be able to give you a more accurate estimate as to what your utility cost will be. Again, it's free. Make the phone call. They will answer that question for you. But in general, if you have, say, a 2,000 to 2,500 square foot home, roughly your utility bill would be anywhere from about $135 to $175 per month. And naturally, if your home is bigger, on that $4.3 million range that I told you about, your utility bill is going to be significantly higher, and likewise if it's a little bit smaller than that. The other thing you got to look at are internet service providers, because in this day and age, in reality, having an internet connection is a must. And rates typically start around that $50 range. You have your pick of, let's see, you've got Xfinity, Verizon, Fios are the two big providers, and then T-Mobile is really making a push with their internet service here. So again, my friends, there you go. There's your utility cost for Towson. Look, if you are finding value in this video and liking the content I'm putting out, can I ask you a small favor? It's a real easy one for me. My friend, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button down below. It's the one that looks like a thumbs up just like this. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. It's the one that looks just like the one on my shelf right over here. It's down below. And then don't forget to give that notification bell a click. That way you're alerted every time I put out another video. Now, comments. I want to hear from you. I made this video as a result of a comment from one of our viewers, okay? So if you have additional questions about Towson, or maybe you want us to do another video about some other place here in Maryland, please drop your comments down below. Either myself, somebody on my team, or one of the fantastic Marylanders watching this locally will jump in and do their best to answer your questions. So let's get back into it. We got to talk about some other costs here in Towson. Next thing we got to look at, what's it cost you to eat? Okay, grocery costs. Guess what? They're not that cheap here in Maryland, okay? But they're not terrible. It's not like we live in Hawaii where everything's got to be essentially brought onto the island. So calm down. It's not going to be that bad. But grocery costs compared to the national average in Maryland are about 8% higher than the rest of the country. Now, if we drill down even further to Towson. Now, Towson's a little bougie, a little fancy. Okay, you got these fancy grocery stores like a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods. You're gonna pay a little bit more because of that. Okay, so I want to give you caution before grocery shopping in Towson. It's pricey. And I want to encourage you, go out a little bit away from Towson. Go to like Timonium or Parkville or one of the other adjacent suburbs and get some of your groceries. You're going to save a little bit of money. But on the flip side, one of the benefits of living in Towson is if you do need specialty items, you have the grocery stores that carry that stuff. So what's a gallon of milk cost? So if you wanted to just get a gallon of milk, you're roughly looking at about $3 a gallon. If you want to get the organic stuff, plan on anywhere from $7 to about $10 a gallon. Yes, can you believe it's almost $10 a gallon for a gallon of milk? It's flipping crazy. If you want a loaf of bread, you're probably looking at $3. But again, my friends, the biggest thing I got to tell you here, and a way to save money, is to do your grocery shopping, if you can, away from downtown Towson. The next cost you have to be aware of are taxes. Look, taxes are a sneaky thing and we pay them on everything. And it's important when evaluating the cost of living in Towson to look at taxes. So let's break taxes down here for you real quick. Number one, our sales tax in the entire state of Maryland is 6%. And you're gonna pay that on everything with the exception of your necessary grocery items. Your milks, your meats, your fruits, vegetables, cereals, that sort of thing, you won't pay tax on. Everything else, you're gonna pay 6% sales tax on. Now, if you want to go get some adult beverages, alcohol tax is at 9%, which is even higher. And if we keep drilling things down and looking at where your money's going, you gotta look at your income tax rate. So the state of Maryland runs on a sliding scale for income taxes. So at the low end, you're gonna pay 2%. Income tax, all the way up to the top earners are paying 5.75% income tax. But there's one other tax, and it's the county-specific tax for where you reside. Not where you work, but where you reside and sleep at night. And Baltimore County's local income tax rate is at 3.2%. Now, the state of Maryland does a convenient thing for you, and you pay all of that through your state income tax return, and then the state gives that money back to the counties, specifically where you live. And then the last thing that you really are probably going to be impacted by are your real estate taxes. So the tax rate for real estate in Baltimore County is $1.10 per $100 of assessed value. So let's give you some numbers behind this little equation here. Say you purchased a $500,000 house. Roughly the taxes per this computation would be about $5,500. So my friends, taxes are not cheap in the state of Maryland, nor are they cheap directly in Towson. Another item you need to be aware of is the cost of education. Okay. Those of you that are utilizing the public school system, this really is not going to apply to you, or if you don't have children, it's not going to apply to you as well. However, those of you that are parents and you are looking to send your child to private school, you're in for a rude awakening because the costs at some of these private schools located in Towson is off the charts. So let's just run through them. And I'm gonna give you really specifically high school figures because that's where the majority of the cost for these schools come into play. A lot of people will send their kids from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade to public school and then flip them on over for high school. So here's what we got. Calvert Hall, all boys school located in Towson. Per year, $18,925. Loyola, another all-boys school, $23,340. Notre Dame Prep, otherwise known as NDP, it's an all-girls school, $22,750. Gilman, which again is a little bit further south of Towson, but it's where a lot of folks that reside in Towson send their children, $35,790. St. Paul's School, $36,190. So you can see the cost of education, holy cow, is gotten really flippin' expensive. And if you are making this decision, my friends, you better be ready because these are some big numbers when it comes to educating your children. All right, we've got two more for you here today, but the first of which, and this is one, it's a sort of a sneaky cost that you're really not going to be able to put a number on right now. And it's the cost of healthcare. The majority of folks that I talk to and work with each and every day are working for an employer and they're getting their healthcare benefits through an employer. So without knowing your status and what your employer's rates are, it's kind of hard for me to give you that figure. But let's look at the state of Maryland as a whole. And here's the cool part. Maryland actually ranks in the rates for health insurance are about 15% less than the national average. And it's really the only category where our costs are less than the national average. And I think, and I want to attribute that to the amazing doctors that we have here locally. In particular, Johns Hopkins University and the associated hospital system along with Johns Hopkins, we have people from all over the world coming right here to Baltimore for medical care. And the doctors there are the best in the world. In addition to that, you have all the great and amazing doctors affiliated with the University of Maryland medical system. And that's phenomenal too. So that's a big reason, in my opinion, personally, as to why the healthcare costs are reduced. Now, if you're a healthcare provider and you have a more specific reason, drop the comment below because I'd love to learn more about that and how that is calculated. Now, the benefit with you living in Towson for healthcare is that you have multiple hospitals right out your front door. You have GBMC, which is otherwise known as Greater Baltimore Medical Center. You have St. Joseph's Hospital, which is now run by the University of Maryland system. And then you have MedStar Good Samaritan Hospital. I always seem to forget that one, but it's located on Loch Raven Boulevard, another great hospital. So your medical needs, they're all going to be, if you have to go to the ER, you're not too far from going to the ER of any of these three hospitals. Now, specialty doctors. Most of your specialty doctors are located in Towson. My son, he sees a specialty eye doctor at GBMC. All three of my children were born at GBMC. I've had shoulder surgery, knee surgery. That stuff was done over there. Had laser eye surgery in Towson. So the list can go on and on, but where I'm going with this is whether you decide to live in Towson or not, you're probably going to be coming for a medical need to Towson in some capacity if you do decide to live in the Baltimore metro area. All right, the last item I want to bring your attention, and it's a big part of this channel. I talk about living here, working here, chilling here, and most importantly, having fun here in the state of Maryland. This is the having fun part of living in Towson. Now, there are some associated costs when getting out and having some fun. So if you want to go to the movies and check out the latest blockbuster movie out there at the new Cinemark that they built, it's been a few years now, but this place is sweet. It's an IMAX theater. It's got the beautiful stadium style seating. You will love it. But you're looking at about $16.50 per ticket. Now, it's going to be a little cheaper if you decide to go to a matinee show. If you want to go out to dinner, there are so many amazing restaurants up and down York Road, Delaney Valley Road, even over at the Towson Town Mall. And you're going to be looking on the low side. If you just want to get something simple, probably about $60 if just you and your significant other are going out, all the way up to well over $100 depending upon what you get. Now, if you want to take the family out, I would budget $80+ per meal or more. Yes, it is getting expensive. Those of you that are golfers, one of my favorite courses to play is in Towson. It's Pine Ridge. I absolutely love Pine Ridge. And if you're going to go during the weekends, probably the prime time to go, early in the morning till about 11 o'clock, you're looking at about $75 with a cart. It is a very challenging course. It is a very slow course to play, meaning people just putz around and they take forever. The pace of play there is very slow. All right. Some other things. Let's talk about sports. If you want to go to a Baltimore Orioles game, they are in a pennant race here in 2023. Thank God it's been 40 years, guys. We want to go back to the World Series. But the cost to go to an O's game, right now, they are running so many promotions. And you can go for as little as $10 to an Orioles game. Parking is probably going to run you another $30-ish at one of the lots or garages nearby. But $10 to start if you're going during the weekday, all the way up to, I don't know, $175 or more for a ticket. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, that's a different story and a much pricier event to go to. Minimum, you're looking at probably about $90 a ticket to go to a Baltimore Ravens game. And that's sitting way up high. If you're trying to get down low, you're probably going to be $130 to $150 to get a seat in the lower bowl. And then parking rates for Ravens games, they're easily $40 right now. And then free things that you can do, because hey, who doesn't like free? One of my favorite spots, and I've mentioned it multiple times on multiple videos here about Towson, is Loch Raven Reservoir. If you like to run, hike, mountain bike, fish, you gotta go over to Loch Raven Reservoir. It's a beautiful piece of property. You can get lost in the woods. You can train for a marathon over there. You can do it all. So my friends, look, those are the costs to live in Towson, Maryland. Now, if a move to Maryland is in your future, specifically to Towson, guess what? I would love to help you out with your move, but I just need one thing from you. That's for you to reach out and connect with us. So please give us a call, shoot us a text message, send us an email, or fan us down with that smoke signal. But best of all, and I really think the best way to connect with us is to schedule your Zoom appointment by using the link down in the description below, because I would love to connect with you face to face, find out what we can do to help, and more importantly, find you that new place here in Towson. So without further ado, I'm going to sign off. Before I do, though, I want you to check out this next video here. It's the pros and cons of living in Towson, Maryland. It's one you definitely want to check out and jump into right away. So until the next video, my friends, have a great day. We'll catch up soon. Take care.